Alright, so God of War Ragnarok, it looks more and more stunning by the minute. We finally have some brand new gameplay shots, a lot of highlights to check, and some massive changes that completely improve upon, sometimes even revamp some of the mechanics that made God of War 2018 so amazing. So let's check the combat, new enemies, new zones, and a lot more in this video. And of course, to celebrate God of War Ragnarok, I'm doing a giveaway for a free digital edition for either PS4 or PS5, whichever console you have. All you have to do is to be a subscriber of the channel and follow the links to the giveaway in the description or the pinned comment, and I will reach out to the winner at the end of the giveaway. Let's begin with the brand new gameplay courtesy of Game Informer. This looks absolutely amazing, and immediately notice Kratos transitioning from a clean jump over this ledge straight into a freezing axe skill against one of these water troll enemies called Grims. Noteworthy here is the jump itself, of course, as God of War 2018 lacked a dedicated jump button and rather had various Leviathan and shield skills that would let you perform certain jump attacks. Well, it seems that at the very least at a surface level there is a dedicated jump here in Ragnarok, but it might just be the fact that there's a brand new jumping animation over these ledges. Also, it might be just me, but the camera seems to be a bit pulled back or zoomed out compared to the 2018 one, and we know that that was the main reason why we did not have a dedicated jump back in the previous God of War game. Another noteworthy bit here is the changing color and maybe even the size of the Leviathan freezing jump attack, particularly the ice area of effect damage, from a more vibrant bluish version we had back in 2018 to a more subdued, slightly white grayish version in the new gameplay video. Now, the area we're seeing right here possibly is Svartalheim. It could be the start and the area we get into at the beginning of God of War Ragnarok. We can see all of these enemies here being level 1, so that's a major giveaway. It also could serve as a prologue/tutorial area where we will get to learn some of the brand new gameplay mechanics that we will check in just a little bit. Also notice that some of these new enemies are new, so these are called Grims, which is basically kind of like a water troll or spirit, and yeah, they seem to be capable of firing toxic projectiles at you from afar. There's also a better shot of one of these thanks to, again, Game Informer, and you can see a pretty nice close-up over here, and also the river they might have originated from in the backdrops of some of these brand new released screenshots, as they are water creatures per se. Also nice to know that Kratos continues with the Blades of Chaos from the start. Of course, we already knew that, or at least it was implied supposedly from the start of the game, and he can use them immediately after. But enough of that, let's talk about some of the brand new gameplay functions and revamped mechanics, one of the biggest being the weapon signature moves. So one of the biggest changes in this regard is done to the triangle attacks. Previously, you would use this to recall the Leviathan axe after you threw it away or when switching back from the Blades of Chaos. But it didn't really do anything if you already had the axe equipped in your hands, so that was massively changed in the new update, and now the triangle button is dedicated to the weapon signature moves. So depending if you have either the axe or the Blades of Chaos equipped, this will infuse your weapon with either ice or fire to make your attack stronger with that weapon. So for the Leviathan axe, you get the Frost Awakening, which will let you deal extra damage by frost, so that's actually quite nice. And for the Blades of Chaos, you get Whiplash, which helps you incinerate enemies, among many other things. Looks really awesome. Of course, Atreus is also getting upgraded. As per the Game Informer article, will be way stronger than his younger self from the previous game. Atreus fills stagger bars while locking enemies in place with his sonic arrows, swinging at unsuspecting Grims with his bow while also repositioning to shoot. Taking a look at the combat as a whole from this image, you can see a lot more blood effects going on as well, both in the point of impact against this particular enemy and the following splatter trail that leaves around the Leviathan following a charged counter slash. The team also really emphasized the importance of enemy variety. There's just a few of them that we've seen so far, so expect a lot more in the final release, which to me sounds like some really nice news over there. Another major revamp we're getting is for the shields, and there's gonna be two new categories that we are getting. One of them is called Dauntless and the other one the Stonewall shields. So the Dauntless one is oriented for faster gameplay and quick reactions. With the Dauntless shield on, parrying an attack at the right time makes it glow red like we can see right here in this screenshot, which signals that the player now can unleash a devastating smash that tosses and stuns enemies. The second one is the Stonewall shield. This is a more slower paced and, just like what the name implies, is more oriented for defenses and tanking. So Kratos can keep the shield raised to parry an incoming barrage of attacks, which in turn will fill a kinetic energy bar. The more blows you absorb with the shield, the more the bar fills, and once it's fully charged, you can unleash that energy into the ground, emitting a screen-wide pulse that knocks anything that might be too close to you. Still, the gameplay mechanics around this go a little bit deeper, as knowing what type of enemy and what type of attacks to counter with different shields also plays a huge role. So for example, the Stonewall, while great for tanking, can become increasingly unstable as it takes more damage, which can leave you vulnerable for block-breaking attacks that would otherwise be ineffective if you were to be careful or use a different shield. I personally really like the advantages and the drawbacks mechanics in this case. Kind of brings a lot more strategy into the overall gameplay, but there's going to be plenty of other types of shields with supposedly different bonuses later down the line, so I'm curious to see how these look in the full game. On a similar note, let's also talk about different difficulty changes. Upping the difficulty will continue to increase enemy aggression and lethality, but there's also some other more dynamic changes along the line. One of them is the fact that all the locations, which previously might have had lower level enemies, will be repopulated with more powerful fauna, and optional areas can become way tougher without having a stronger crew alongside you. So quite a bit there being done to replayability. Of course, we do know that God of War 2018 had exclusive armor for playing on the highest possible difficulty, so it could very well be the same this time around, maybe even get a lot more rewards as a result of playing on the highest possible setting. In terms of puzzles and new stuff, we've even seen some of these in action, and some of them are hidden behind that Game Informer article. Some of them are even making a return, like for example, we've seen this one right here with Odin's Ravens. They are making a return, as we've seen one in one of these shots right here. Previously, these were needed to complete an achievement and get the platinum trophy, and you had to like hunt 51 of these in the 2018 installment, but they would also give you quite a lot of XP along the lines. There's other examples in there, like for example Kratos being able to freeze gazers, remove steaming pods, and Atreus will also get different arrows to pass through different barriers when going through different zones, including the one that we've seen right here where he clears that ledge ahead for us. And there's plenty more actually that we should see, but again, interactive puzzles and abilities are also a major change in Ragnarok compared to the previous installment. On a final note, let's also talk about this brand new key visual right here. Location seems to be likely Svartalheim, but totally let me know down below if you think it's a completely different area. It does appear to be in tune with some of the other visuals we've seen the past year. Of course, in the forefront, we can see Kratos and Atreus fighting what appears to be an Einherjar, which is kind of like this enemy that has died, went to Valhalla, and is being trained by Valkyries to prepare for Ragnarok. Possibly a replacement or an upgrade to the Draugr and the common enemies we had in the first game, but maybe they're also like unique and a little bit more threatening later down the line. Brock and Sindri also fighting in the background is a new one for me. I think this is the first time we see them fighting, or well, possibly doing some other combat related activities, possibly signifying a final assault or something leading up to the Ragnarok when things become a lot more hectic. Of course, we also saw Draki in the water below. We've seen the fight against this enemy in the first gameplay reveal, and it looks really nice. And I'm also counting at least 5 dragons in these shots, including the ones getting closer to the main shot. Not yet certain if these will provide help or are there as combatants or enemies, because we do know that in the first game we have freed 3 dragons, and we do also know that they are able to detect dwarves while passing between realms, so it's possible that they might also have the capability to pass between these realms, which seems to also be the centerpiece of this God of War Ragnarok release. There's gonna be a lot more gameplay coming soon. Andrew Rayner, editor-in-chief over at Game Informer, confirmed that there's at least 4 more minutes of God of War Ragnarok footage to share, but that's going to come up in the following days. No ETA yet, but the recent tweets made it seem as if, yeah, there's a character of urgency here and it might drop really soon. Totally, let me know down below, are you excited for God of War Ragnarok? And if you want to see more God of War Ragnarok related content and news here on this channel, definitely leave a like, subscribe, and activate that notification bell. And I'll see you guys in the next video.